Hello plant people, how are you guys doing today? If you're new around here, my name is Ashley and I'm a soil scientist. On this channel I like to take that science and apply it to all things plants, and in today's video we're doing a highly requested video on liquid dirt. So you guys clearly want to drive me to an early grave or potentially cause my red hair to turn gray, and the reason for that is because I feel like you know what pushes my buttons. So we're going to talk about liquid dirt. This is a video at this point I can't even ignore. It's a video I absolutely must do because of the enormous amount of people who have reached out to ask me to do this video. It's insane. I was on a Lee Valley live stream tonight and someone asked in the questions, like in the question section of that, what I thought about liquid dirt there. So that's just insane to me, this product. So I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna give you my theoretical thoughts on liquid dirt because personally, I don't feel like ponying up $54 for the product and then simultaneously running tests on it if there's of no interest to you guys. Now, if you guys really want information on liquid dirt, how it works, what it does, all that fun stuff, let me know in the comments down below. If this video can get to 500 likes, so that means share it, comment it, make the algorithm pick it up, whatever it takes to get there. I need 500 likes and I will buy liquid dirt and I will start an actual scientific method process. So I will apply a hypothesis. I will apply controls, parameters to the entire study, and I will do it the same way we would do in the lab. Exact same way we would do in the lab. We will base it up on upper and lower biomass cumulatively. We'll weigh this, dry it out, weigh it. We'll take the mass of the biomass both above ground and below ground. Like, I'm talking probably the most thorough YouTube ever science experiment. Like I said, completely using the scientific method. I will put everything in grow tents. I will do a controlled climate experiment. I will remove as many factors as possible because the reality is that I'm a scientist. I'm a trained scientist, whatever that means to you. I can't take witness testimony as a scientific literature or something I can depend on. I can take that as primary evidence to warrant a potential study, and I can apply that primary evidence to a potential theoretical hypothesis on what's going on. But I can't say that these plant tubers, like the YouTubers that use liquid dirt, the Instagrammers, all that stuff, if what they're saying is valid. Their primary evidence that shows that the amazing results of liquid dirt, in my opinion, are kind of throttled by the fact that this is something you can have an affiliate link for and obviously make money from. So that, again, throttles my opinion on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put an affiliate link for liquid dirt. I'm going to stay completely separated from any affiliation with liquid dirt, and I will perform an actual experiment with this. The reason for that actually comes down to the fact that this is blown up insanely. I've never gotten this many DMs about one product in my entire career so far here on YouTube, or just in my personal circle, even people asking me about this thing. So the exception is the new tabletop or countertop composters, which I did email the companies about. I'm waiting for more details on it. They don't email me back. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to, again, throw out a theoretical hypothesis as to what's going on. I'm not big enough to warrant these companies to answer me, but be forewarned, companies. I'll remember that. So anyways, let's jump into liquid dirt, the theoretical science behind what exactly is happening and the phenomenon people are seeing in their plants. So liquid dirt is considered a full ecosystem in a bottle. Not my words, the company's words to be exact. It's a concentrated formula for watering your plants as easy as 1, 2, 3. I wish it was that easy. And I'm excited to see what liquid dirt has to say about that. So it's great for soil and growing mediums, hydroponics, semi-hydro, leca, it's kind of the same thing, vivariums with reptiles, terrariums, water gardens, and fish tanks, and flowers, and so much more. Good for roots, stems, leaves, blooms, foliage, and overall plant health. So it's a catch-all in a bag. So it says, what's in it? All naturally, fully digested nutrient supplement system for all plants. All vitamins and minerals for the microbial activity index are essential to plant life. Complete microfungi, mycorrhizae, and rhizobacteria strains in a pH balance formula. Whew! That's a lot. How is it made? So it's made through something called zymology. It's a zymology process. So I think what they're trying to say here is they're using the study of zymology, because zymology isn't a process, it's a study. It's a study of microbes fermented, like fermented microbes in the absence of oxygen. So my understanding is they're taking 18 ingredients and they are putting them into a fermenting process, which they say can take up to or over 5 years total. It's a lot. I guess leave me a comment down below. I can show you how to do a fermenting process in a 5-gallon bucket, pail bucket in your home for way less than $54. And it'll give you lifetime supply of microbes for your garden, for your houseplants, whatever the case is. I can show you how to make this stuff. It's not that complicated and it will not take you 5 years. It'll take you about a month. So microbes multiply incredibly quickly. Do not underestimate the power of a microbe. So there are 18 balanced super nutrients. It's 18. There is poultry litter, rabbit manure, bat guano, cricket frass, humic shale, worm castings, oyster shells, mycorrhizae, dolomite limes, kelp meal, gypsum, alfalfa meal, concentrated fluvic acid, bone meal, and proprietary mineral blend from organic sources. We'll get into the organic sources thing a little bit later. My research took me down a rabbit hole. So how long does it last? It doesn't expire. It's good forever. Never expires. And the fact that it never expires, despite the fact that you're not adding moisture and you're not feeding said microbes in the material, is pretty revolutionary. And I'm pretty sure NASA would like to get their hands on that because it'd be incredibly valuable to get on Mars. Anyways, so you basically water your plants with this and immediately reacts with your plants to give you happy growth. Don't be fooled by other liquid promises, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of like the overview of what Liqui-Dirt, their words, not mine. So we need to like break this down in multiple levels. I want us to first look at the concept of plant food versus plant fertilizers. Companies such as Super Thrive, which is one I've actually done a video on. These products like this claim to be plant food. Bios is another one. Actually, that one I don't mind as much. I can do a separate review on Bios, but they're a Canadian company. They claim to be plant food. And if you watched my video on the 17 essential nutrients of plants, you very quickly are going to realize that plants don't take up carbohydrates, fats, proteins, or anything in any sort of molecular structure that includes more than about 3 oxygens at most, right? It's either ions, nitrates, phosphates, that sort of thing. That's what the plant uptakes, and then bare ionic forms of copper, boron, iron, sulfur, all that fun stuff, right? Molybdenum, all that junk. So the idea of a plant food is really inaccurate. I don't like that terminology. I really wish these companies would stop using it because you're trying to fool people into thinking that they're fertilizing their plants, but at most, it's a biostimulant. At most, it's a biostimulant. So what would be better marketing for Super Thrive? Maybe I'm giving them bad ideas right now, but anyways. Super Thrive, Liqui-Dirt, Bios, Marifil. What they'd be better, and I think Marifil actually says soil enhancer on it. That's better verbiage to me than plant food. If you use any of these, Liqui-Dirt, you need to still fertilize. There is no fertilizer in that product. If there was fertilizer in it in any capacity, they would do what even Super Thrive does. They would at least put the formula, the NPK has to be listed on the package. You cannot sell stuff without listing the NPK. There's a numerous number of reasons why, from eutrophication, like environmental reasons, you have to list it because you can't over apply a lot of this stuff. But then there's just legal reasons. Fertilizer's worth its weight. So if you are not telling people what's in the product, technically, and you're selling it as a fertilizer, you're breaking the law, which is why they say plant food, because they know they can't say plant fertilizer. So just a hint to all these companies, if you use soil enhancer, soil conditioner, biostimulant, I'd be much more lenient with what you're selling, because then you're not misleading people. So that brings me into my next point, which is Omri. So I looked at everything I could for resources. I went direct to the Omri website. I paid for a temporary login to try to find some of these companies for some future videos I'm doing, and Liqui-Dirt is not Omri certified. So even though they say organically sourced over and over again throughout their entire website, their entire Amazon listing, they're not Omri certified. Now, are they aiming to be Omri certified and they're applying for it? Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell you that, answer that question. There's no data or no info leading me down that route. But as of right now, 2022, they are not Omri certified. So all this organic stuff that they're saying is in the product, it cannot be, is the ultimate truth. If you are selling your seeds or your vermicompost or your aquaponics, your hydroponics, your indoor gardening, your cannabis, your outdoor gardening, anything you sell that you've used Liqui-Dirt in, you cannot mark it as organic because it does not have an Omri certificate. It's just bottom line. Now, do I think that these are sourced from organic sources in the sense that they're sourced from things that are naturally occurring in earth? Fine, yes, of course they do. But that's not saying that the rabbit, for example, that they get the rabbit manure from, that they state in their 18 essential nutrients, wasn't fed something that potentially was, sprayed with glyphosate, for example. Alfalfa, very commonly sprayed with glyphosate, and the feed that would be in a rabbit pellet would be sprayed with glyphosate. There's nothing saying that that's not a possibility. Now, I'm saying that it's just the fact. It's just the fact of the matter, which goes to my third point, is that I sound like such a horrible person right now, but I'm really passionate about this, you guys. I don't mean to knock these companies because I'm mean. I'm just legitimately passionate about giving you the content you need to thrive. That's all I want. That's all I want from you guys. I just want you not to get ripped off. And I do want to eliminate the hacks and the misinformation in the industry in general, right? So it's not because I'm mean. I just want to throw that in there because I feel kind of like a fiery redhead right now, even though I'm sure most of you understand. So, which brings me to my third point, is this world of plant food isn't regulated. There is no regulatory body certifying that plant food is a thing. Let's ignore the fact that they're potentially trying to serve this up as a fertilizer, or that's their intent, is that this is just an all-purpose fertilizer. All you need to add is this and nothing else. Let's think of it as they did decide to start picking it up as a soil conditioner, a soil enhancer, or a biostimulant. Say they took that route, which is the route that I would be more comfortable with them marketing as. So say they took that route. There still is zero independent certification similar to that of Omri that can say whether or not the product meets a minimum standard. So what do I mean by that? Say these guys are marketing themselves as a biostimulant, meaning they contain high levels of carbon, which I'm sure this product does. I'm sure it does. High levels of carbon, high levels of carbohydrates, which I'm also confident these products have. All these things that introduce higher rates of carbon to our structure of soil, which ultimately in turn stimulates microbiotic activity. So if we market it as that, there's no regulatory body saying they have to have a minimum of this many CFUs, colony forming units. There's nothing out there that says this bottle needs to contain XYZ minimum. This is the range they have to be in order for you to sell it. So technically, they could be diluting it. And if this channel ever blew up, and if I ever got enough money to do the things that I want to do with soil for the world, I would 100% commit to making a committee that works with these biostimulants to determine their value in the marketplace and give them a place in the marketplace, because that's my second point, or my first positive point to this entire thing. I don't think that these are completely useless or null and void of value. I think that there's a potential for value in this, especially in the indoor gardening community, whether that be in the form of indoor peppers, cannabis, or even houseplants. And the reason why I say this is because it goes back to that bioenhancement, the ability to foster growth of microbiota in our soil structures, in our indoor soilless, for all intents and purposes, medium. And so when we end up with these biostimulants, we can start backing away from things like manures, compost indoors, things that typically will cause mold growth or bacterial growth inside, which is not a bad thing, but it's aesthetically not pleasing, and there are other solutions to it, such as stimulants like this. If, again, I don't know what the coliforming units are in this, I don't know if every bottle is equal. I have no idea. So with that being said, I think with Liqui-Dirt, I'm going to have to knee-jerk reaction back with my original viewpoint with the Super Thrive, for example. And it's just simply a placebo effect to me at this point in time. Do I think it's adding carbon? Yes. Do I think that added carbon is helping with the microbiota that may not exist for things like nutrient cycling, fungal suppression, bacterial suppression, bad bacteria, bad fungal suppression, and then ultimately pest suppression, because your microbiota in your soil is what ultimately helps to control a huge portion of the pests we see indoors. So do I think that Liqui-Dirt serves that purpose? It has the potential to do so, but it also is able to provide moisture. So when we get a new product, such as Super Thrive, we are more likely to water our plants more often. And while this scares some people, if you've watched any of my videos on indoor house plants and how to water them, you know I don't let my soil dry out to the point of permanent wilting point, which is below 20% soil moisture. And so I think the placebo effect of a new product is what causes a houseplant owner that typically would let things go bone dry or maybe ignore them to be more on top of watering their plants, because they're really excited to use that new product, which ultimately, combined with the biostimulant aspect of these products, or the potential biostimulant side of these products, and the moisture, we end up with a really great environment for things such as nutrient cycling to take place, even the fungal growth, the hyphae, the mycorrhizae to actually take form in that soil system. So, I mean, they make some really big claims. Some people are seeing really great results, but you do need to still fertilize, whether that's in the form of an organic fertilizer or if it's in the form of a synthetic, whatever the case is, you still need to fertilize in some way, shape, or form. You need to be adding in vermicompost, a manure, like Earth's Medicine, for example. Not affiliated, but you can get this. This is a Canadian company as well. That I prefer this product over the like regular manure compost, only because it's pelletized, and so you don't end up with the hydrophobicity that you would with like regular manure compost. But yeah. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see the experiment, or if you want that experiment to go through, also give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn how to make your own biostimulant, is what I'm going to call it, let me know in the comments down below. I will be more than happy to help you make your own biostimulant. What I'm going to teach you to do is probably something closer to Eileen Ingham, but like a hybrid version. So I'll do like the gardener's version, and then I'll do the houseplant version. So the gardener's version, I'm gonna help you understand how to introduce native microbiota and into your soils outdoors. And then for the soil, the houseplant people, I'm gonna show you how to maybe introduce some more exotic forms of microbiota that may be more in conjunction with the natural rhizosphere of your houseplant. So I hope that wasn't too nerdy or too much for you guys. I hope I didn't upset too many of you. I know I'm gonna upset some of you. It's just the reality of when I review products, as passionately as I do review products. But ultimately, if you bought Liqui-Dirt, there's no reason to stop using it. It's not gonna hurt your plant. If you're on the fence about purchasing Liqui-Dirt, maybe get a smaller container of it. See if you're seeing any differences in the product. If you have Liqui-Dirt and you are from a science background, DM me. I'd be interested in you trying out like just a at-home petri dish type experiment till I can get my hands on it. I'm investing in, knock on wood, a microscope along with some agar dishes and a whole lab setup, because I do want to check out some of the stuff, especially with the huge push towards microbes and stuff. I really want to help you guys understand this stuff better. So if you enjoyed the video, like I said, thumbs up, subscribe, comments, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Patreon, and the podcast that I literally never mention, but you should still probably go check that out too. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.